You feel me? Before I start, as usual, man, all praise and all reverence reflect the life from the honorable, the all-seeing I3, my higher self. You feel me? Today, what we're gonna be talking about is melanin. We're gonna be talking about melanin today. Don't nobody be talking about melanin. Only person that broke down what melanin truly is Chief. Chief is the only, especially the only black man that has shown what melanin is. Like, everybody talks about the skin pigment and the U melanin in our skin, but there's three different types of melanin, right? Three different types of melanin. The first one is pheomelanin. Pheomelanin is responsible for freckles, albinoism, people that got red hair, the reddish and pinkish hues that are on the body, right? The pink inside of your lips. That's what pheomelanin is. Now, this is what you see Caucasians, they have an abundance of pheomelanin. That's what you see in Caucasians. But they still have melanin. Then we have eumelanin. Eumelanin is what you see in African Americans. People that have brown and dark brown and very rich brown skin. Right? Eumelanin is also found inside the iris in your eyes, the hair on your head. Right? This is where eumelanin is found. But the most important part, or the most important component of melanin that nobody talks about, is called neuromelanin. Beezy, what's good, King? Is neuromelanin. Now, nobody talk about this and break this down like Chief has broke it down. Now, you can go on Google and search up what neuromelanin is, and it'll tell you, well, neuromelanin is the melanin that's found inside of your brain and inside of your nervous system. But it goes a lot deeper than that. It goes a lot deeper than that. And I'm going to help break it down to you because Chief has broken it down for me. God has given me the light codes to repeat and give to you guys. So, melanin. First off, melanin is biological living light. It's more than just a skin pigment. Did you not know that when you are inside of your mother's womb and when your embryo is developing, the first thing to be present is melanin. That's the very first thing to be present. Nobody could exist without melanin. So we call white people, but that's not true. There's no different race. There's no Asians, no Caucasians, no Japanese, black people. All of those are titles that has been given to us through white supremacy to distract our melanin from what it truly is. There's only one human race, and that's the human race. There's only one race of people, and that's the human race. And we are all different shades of brown. Everybody is a different shade of brown. You may be a lighter shade of brown, the middle shade of brown, or a darker shade of brown. Either way, we all contain melanin, just at different variations and different capacities. So melanin is biological living light, right? It is literally the sun in liquid form, right? Human beings are the sun in human form. That's why when you get in front of the sun, you get darker, you get more of a tan. Because behind the sun, which they call the universe, is actually the quantum unified field. That darkness that you see behind the sun, or when it gets dark outside in the sky, that's melanin. All of that is melanin. The sun is a vacuum, like Chief teaches. It's a vacuum that expresses melanin onto the earth plane. Right? Melanin is cosmic intelligence. And the more melanin you have inside of your being, inside of your vessel, your avatar, the more you are connected to God. The more you are connected to the all, to nature. Right? Understand that melanin stores memory, right? This is why it's so important. This is why melanin is being studied inside of science labs, and why when people transition, they get your organs and they take the melanin out of it. They was actually doing experiments where they would boil people's skin to extract the melanin out of their bodies. Go look it up. Melanin is very important, but why is melanin so important? Because it's an intelligence. Melanin is light, it's intelligence. It's just not in your skin for a reason. What melanin does inside of your skin right? If you're a more melanated being, what melanin does for you is that it allows you to absorb more light photons that the sun emits. So it allows you to absorb more sunlight. Your skin, the pigment in your skin, the melanin in your skin, what it does is it plays as a solar panel. I don't know if y'all ever use a solar panel or seen how a solar panel works, but what the solar panel does is that it has carbon-like material inside of it. And what it does is it harnesses and it stores sunlight inside of the solar panel so that it can be used as kinetic energy later on. So it can be used as a power source later on. So the melanin in your skin is being used as a battery or a power source to amplify what you are. Appreciate that, Kimya. So the melanin in your skin is being used as a power source or a battery to amplify what you are. Now, the first hermetic principle is all is mental. All is mind, the law of mentalism. We are all just a consciousness. So the melanin in your skin is just being used to power the thoughts that you are having. This is why it's important for you to understand how you think. But we're going to go further into it. On top of that, melanin is worth more than gold. If you didn't know. If you didn't know that what makes you brown or what makes you a black person, peace to the gods. If you didn't know what makes you brown or what makes you superior, it's your melanin. Scientists know that. The lower self knows that. They know that. They're studying it. This is why it's being used in technology today. Melanin is being used in computer chips to store information. Because that's what melanin is. It stores ancient genetic information inside of us. And Babylon knows this. This is why they utilize all type of frequencies, all type of food, water, chemicals inside the water, music, TV programs. All of this stuff goes into your mind and it tampers with the melanin that you have. It tampers with your light. Because that's what melanin is. It's light. It's intelligence. So it essentially makes you kind of dumb. It dumbs you down so that you don't know what you truly are. Melanin is the master molecule in everybody's body. Like I said, nobody can exist without melanin. Right? The melanin that you have is actually being produced inside of what people talk about the pineal gland, but the pineal gland is not the master gland of the body. The master gland of the body is the pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland is receiving sunlight from your environment, and it produces a hormone called MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. This is a hormone that's fueling your whole body. Remember, melanin being the master molecule of the body, it communicates, it talks. This is why it's being used in technology. It tells things what to do. We are electronic beings, right? Melanin can talk and communicate with ionic control circuitries and electronic control circuitries. So it's telling the cells in your body what to do and how to move. Very important that you understand this and you understand melanin. So your pituitary gland is releasing MSH, or hormone that's going throughout your body, and it's allowing your body to produce melanocytes. Melanocytes are mature skin pigment cells that allow you to produce melanin constantly, right? Think about it. For you to constantly be the skin pigment that you are, your pituitary gland has to be releasing that hormone, MSH, at such a velocity that vibrates to keep you at your pigment. Peace to the gods. And you need the sunlight. Not just any sunlight though. We need UVB. In the northern hemisphere, we're getting an abundance of UVA. UVA is responsible and promotes cancer. UVB is where you're going to find this type of sunlight near the equator, near the Tropic of Cancer and between the Tropic of Capricorn, near the equinox where the sun is at its most powerful. We all need UVB. The food that you eat need UVB. The water that you drink need UVB. Everything needs UVB to sustain itself. We don't need too much UVA. The UVA, what it does is that in this system that we are in, we're eating toxic food. Chemicals being put in all of our food and all of our water. What this does is That sunlight, that UVA that we get here in the northern hemisphere, it burns our skin. That's why Caucasians, when they get in the sun, they get a sun rash, or they get burned. It's not burning you from the outside in, it's actually burning you from the inside out. What the sun is doing, that UVA radiation is burning the toxins from within you, and it's showing outside. It's showing on your being, but it's happening from the inside out. So it's important that we understand that we need the correct sunlight for us to produce melanin at its most efficient rate, right? On top of that, like I said, it talks, it communicates. That's why they're using it in technology. They're using it in military weapons. It's that powerful. It's worth more than gold. Melanin is being sold for like $700 a gram right now today, while gold is only being sold at about $100 a gram. But we have been so programmed to go chase money and go buy gold and go buy all this jewelry, and not understand and be educated on what our melanin is and what's truly of value. Your melanin is what's valuable. It's really nothing else to talk. If we're going to talk about the universe, we got to talk about melanin, because that's what the universe is. The quantum unified field, that darkness from which we all come from, it's melanin. It's melanin. Not only that, like I was saying, the most important part of melanin is called neuromelanin. Now, what is neuromelanin? Neuromelanin is the melanin inside of your brain and your nervous system. Why is this so important? This is so important because when you start developing in your mother's womb, like I said, the first thing that starts to produce itself is melanin. Now, what's the first thing to develop in a baby in the womb? The first thing to develop, appreciate that reflection. The first thing to develop inside the womb is the skin, the heart, which is the very first thing, and the spine, the nervous system. The nervous system, the heart, and the skin are the first things to develop inside of the human womb when the embryo is being developed. The heart is developed before the brain. So this means that your heart is actually your brain. Your heart is your soul, like Chief teaches us. And your heart is the nucleus of your body. Like every cell, we are cells, and we are made out of 50 trillions of other cells. The heart of a cell is called the nucleus. Inside of the nucleus lies the DNA. DNA is the genetic molecular blueprint for all living things. This is the instructions or the genetic codes to give each and every living cell its function. It's your software. It is your program. Remember, this body that you have is just an avatar. It's a hardware. It's a vessel being used to carry and store the software so that you can run and function. So the piece to the God's diamond. So the software of you is your neuromelanin, because your heart is your first brain. The brain develops after the heart, right? It's important that we understand this. So neuromelanin is the mechanics of consciousness. It's the software or the program that you're using for you to be you. Without you understanding neuromelanin, you can't truly know who you are, right? You can say, oh, well, the skin on my body makes me superior. Well, the skin, the dark skin pigment that we have on our body, it does make us superior in terms of us being able to run fast, jump high. We have rhythm. You feel me? We can do extraordinary things with the melanin in our skin. But remember, it's just a battery. It's just harnessing light or electrical signals from your environment to amplify your consciousness, to amplify your neuromelanin. So if your neuromelanin, if you don't have the correct neuromelanin in your being, then that melanin or that dark pigment that you have on your body is going to amplify your ignorance. That's all it's going to do. And it's very, very, it's really, Chief a genius, y'all. God is a genius, y'all. I want y'all to know that. God is a genius because Chief has pieced together melanin in astrology. Who you know, y'all said somebody else was talking about melanin, But who you know tied melanin and astrology together? I don't know nobody else. I don't know nobody else. Yeah, we can talk about the skin pigment, but melanin is more than that. It's cosmic intelligence. It stores your memory, right? If you look into astrology, the moon represents the subconscious mind. The subconscious is the void, the quantum field that rules 95% of our reality. That's the darkness. That's where all information is stored, the womb of consciousness. Memory holds data. It stores information. It's the master molecule of life. It's a super semiconductor for all living things, for electricity, all different types of energy. And in human beings, it amplifies our thoughts. It amplifies our manifestations. So it's important for you to understand how the mind works. Chief has given us astrology, biology, quantum physics, melanin, and grounding. It has tied all of these sciences together for us to get a complete understanding of what reality is and what we are. So how does astrology and melanin go hand in hand? Well, neuromelanin is synonymous with everybody's astrological program. So let's get into it, right? Because we have to be intelligent. We have to be scientists. Or like Chief teaches, we have to be objective thinkers. We have to go do our research so that we know for shit show what we talking about. So we know for sure what we talking about. For everybody. Everybody has melanin. We just have it at different shades. Everybody is a different shade of brown. Nobody is exempt of melanin. Nobody can exist without melanin because melanin is the universe. So when it comes to melanin in astrology, neuromelanin is congruent with your astrological program. This is why it's important for you to understand what time you ported in, the time when you was born, the day, the month, the year, and the location, so that you can go calculate up your birth report, so that you can study the mechanics of how your mind is using your thoughts to shape and manifest your reality. Because life is nothing but a holographic projection of your thoughts, which is your natal chart, the software of your being. So you may see a dark person out here, the color of Africans, that purple blue pigment on them. But if they lack certain astrological placements in planetary positions, that battery, that skin pigment that they have is going to amplify their ignorance, right? Y'all may think that all white people or all people that lack melanin are bad people. No, that's not intelligent to assume. It's not intelligent for you to judge a book by its cover until you go do the nutritional facts, until you go do the astrological facts on the conscience of that being. You have to go study the consciousness of that being to know the soul of who you're dealing with, right? So you may see a white person or what you perceive as a white person or a Caucasian, but this Caucasian, this less melanated version of yourself has long locks. You know the white people out there that got locks, they like eating fruit and veggies. They very much in tune with the earth. They're advocates for the earth. They're advocates for black people. They love nature. They love the universe. They love talking about being in harmony with the equilibrium of the planet. This is because these beings that lack eumelanin in the skin, they embody an abundance of neuromelanin in their astrological program. The software of these beings, their DNA, their genetics, they embody a lot of neuromelanin. Now, what does that look like inside of a natal chart? What does it look like for you to embody an abundance of neuromelanin inside of your natal chart? Well, it looks like you having specific exaltations, right? It looks like you having specific exaltations. In astrology, you have something called aspects, right? You have certain positions where certain planets and certain signs and energies have certain strengths and certain weaknesses. So for instance, like Chief teaches, feeling is knowing, right? You can't know something and understand something until you can feel it. That's why you have a nervous system. You have a nervous system so that you can receive the electrical signals from your environment and feel them and process them through your being. And in astrology, your ability to feel or feelize nature or your environment is going to be dependent on the feminine energy that you have inside your chart. So you have 3 feminine planets inside of astrology: the moon, Venus, and Jupiter. Right? The moon is ruled by Cancer. Venus is ruled by Taurus and Libra. Jupiter is ruled by Pisces and co-ruled by Sagittarius and exalted in Cancer. These are the feminine planets in astrology that allow you to feel life, to feel and understand the universe on an intuitive level. Right? So if you have a moon in Cancer, a moon in Pisces, a moon in Taurus, which is exaltation, these are great placements. These are good planetary positions that show that this being embodies neuromelanin in the correct way, mentally and astrologically, genetically, that allows them to be in harmony with the all, to be in harmony with God. If you have a Venus in Pisces, a Venus in Taurus or Libra or Cancer, these are good placements for Venus to be in because it's feminine energy. It's allowing you to feel your environment. If you have a Jupiter in Cancer, Pisces, these are good placements. You can be pale, yellowish skin, but if you got these certain placements in your natal chart, you in tune. You got soul to you. You know them white people in the hood that talk like black people, that got rhythm, that got a certain swag about them. It's because they have neuromelanin. They have neuromelanin. Now, say if you dark as Wesley Snipes, but your moon is in Capricorn, or your moon is in Scorpio, or your moon is in, well, what's another placement? Let's just say them two. Because Capricorn is a debilitated moon, right? The moon falls in Capricorn. So this means that you have a hard time feeling and processing intuitive emotions to be in tune with your environment. Say if you got a Venus in Virgo, well, you're trying to analyze everything instead of you feeling things with your heart, like Pisces or Libra or Taurus wants to do in Venus, right? So if you're a black person, African American with dark skin, and you got a debilitated moon, a debilitated Venus, a debilitated Jupiter, your darkness, the skin pigment that you have, is going to amplify those negative traits in your mind. It's going to amplify your ignorance. It's going to amplify your ability to be out of harmony with what is. Right? So it's important for you to study astrology. Right? It's important for you not to say, oh, well, this person white, this person black. This person black, and that makes them superior. No, it's a lot of black people out here that's demons. That's destructive to the planet. That's being cancerous on the planet. And it's because they lack the ability to feel. They lack the ability to be intuitively in tune with their environment. Same thing with Caucasians. Just because they lack melanin in their skin pigment, it doesn't mean that they're inferior. This just means that they're not able to absorb sunlight, as much sunlight as somebody with more melanin. You feel me? But mentally, spiritually, they're able to embody more of the universe than the person with darker skin pigment that lacks neuromelanin, that lacks the proper astrological placements for them to be in tune with life. You see what I'm saying? So everybody talk about melanin and melanin being inside the skin and all that, but melanin is a lot more than that. It's intelligence. It's high. It gives you high-speed cosmic connection, like Chief teaches us. It keeps you in tune with mama, with the all. Exactly. Neuro is way more important than melanin. The melanin that you got on your skin is just being used as a battery. That's it. It's just being used as a battery to amplify your thoughts. Now, if you have the wrong astrological chart, then you're not thinking right. And that melanin is going to be used for you to be a demon on the earth realm. That's it. That's it. And understand that our melanin has been poisoned, right? Babylon has poisoned our melanin, our consciousness, our belief systems, right? Our intelligence has been our intelligence has been subconsciously programmed with going to school, going to work, living out of tune with life, putting on clothes, wearing shirts, wearing shoes, being disconnected from the earth, being in the northern hemisphere where we're eating, where we're not getting the correct sunlight. But understand this. Understand that melanin is so powerful because it's a DNA repairer. It repairs DNA. If y'all remember in 2011 in Japan, in 2011 when they was going through that Hiroshima nuclear radiation shit, that nuclear bomb went off in Japan, and all the inhabitants of Japan was going through that nuclear radiation. People was getting cancer and transitioning. Well, scientists figured out that they can utilize a mushroom, a plant called the chaga mushroom. They even selling this shit in the stores. Like I went to a little fitness store, and they was selling a piece of, like a chocolate bar that had chaga mushroom in there. Yeah. Chaga mushroom is a plant that was utilized in Japan to repair the DNA of the people of Japan. Melanin is a DNA repairer. Remember, it tells things what to do. It's the master molecule of the human body, of all living things. Melanin is in everything. It's inside the trees. It's inside the ground. It's inside of everything. It's inside of your hair. That's what makes your hair an antenna. Because melanin is a super semiconductor. That's what's allowing your hair to be an antenna for you to receive intelligence from the all. So we can repair our melanin or build more melanin. All is not lost if you are light skinned. I'm brown. This is not my original color. All of humanity were once dark brown. Everybody, this was once a black planet. But it's not only until we start to move further away from the equator and from the equinox that we start to lose pigment genetically over time. But just as you lost pigment genetically over time by moving away from the equator, you can rebuild your melanin and gain more melanin by getting closer to your natural environment. This is why it's imperative for us to understand that the Eligio Bishop is the Christ. And just like the Christ in the Bible, Christ pointed out in Matthew 6:25, look at the birds and the bees of the field. He was teaching people about nature. He was using parables based in nature for us to get in tune with our natural states so that we can thrive, so that we can live in tune with God. But we sitting here not acknowledging Chief like he didn't come dropping gems on niggas. Like he didn't come to awaken us from our sleep inside of this dream. Like he isn't melanin in human form giving us melanin through his talks. Understand that when you're listening to me, I'm giving you melanin right now. When we're listening to Chief, we're receiving melanin, and his voice is actually repairing the cells in our body. Because it's energy. It's energy. Even you looking at Chief is you receiving melanin and you being able to rebuild your melanin. Look at him. Look at God. Look at her. We are all the sun in human form. Melanin in biological human form. Different expressions of the all, of the quantum unified field of infinite possibilities. We are all different possibilities of our mother in heaven. The field, that void that we all come from, that womb of consciousness. And none of us would exist without that melanin. So we can rebuild melanin, right? We can rebuild skin pigment. We can rebuild the melanin in our skin. We can rebuild our neuromelanin, right? You can rebuild your neuromelanin by simply just putting the right information in your mind, right? All is not lost if you have debilitated astrological positions, right? If your natal chart doesn't have the best placements and it's a challenge for you mentally, all is not lost. Because like Chief teaches us, you can surround yourself with people that do have the correct planetary positions astrologically, and you can rebuild your mindset and your belief system through them, because we are all God. We are all God's imagination. We are all different frequencies or vibrations of melanin. You see what I'm saying? So you can rebuild your neuromelanin, your belief systems, through surrounding yourself with divine beings, with people that carry divine knowledge of self. You can rebuild your skin pigment by moving out of this environment, going to your natural environment. That's why Chief showed us to go into the jungle and to go be sovereign and out of this system that's destroying us. This whole system is a simulated environment that's designed for us to perish. It's not designed for us to thrive. We're not surviving in this system. We're already dead because we can't be human around here. You can't walk around with your natural clothes. You can't be human here. They spell human Human, but it's really human, Hue. Hue means pigment, color. Human. We are people of color. We are people of brown, of melanin. So you can rebuild your melanin, your skin pigment over time by going into your natural environment, right? Say you light skin. If you light skin, you probably shouldn't be getting with another light skinned person, because what you're going to do is you're going to genetically birth another light skinned baby. We trying to have a black planet. If you light skinned, you should only be trying to date a black person. That's why you see white men and white women wanting black women and black men, because they know genetically this being holds superior genes that's going to allow me genetically to thrive and for me to live. It's simple. It's science. It's not, oh, I'm black. No, it's genetic. No, I'm closer to God. Black people are closer to God than less melanated beings. Look at the earth. When you think about somebody that's from the earth, you think about somebody that's brown, an earthling, an indigenous being. On top of that, everything is the sun. Nothing can exist without the sun. The food that we eat comes from the sun. The water comes from the sun. You feel me? In this system, you go into your grocery store in this system, 95% of the store got GMO food, genetically modified food. It's about 5% of the store that you can really buy that's healthy for you. And even that food has lost life force because it has been packaged up, stolen, kidnapped, and shipped from its natural environment to be sold in the store to human beings that are being held captive in this prison we call the United States of America. So, like Chief teaches us, you can repair your DNA, you can repair your melanin by eating the sun, right? Eating fruit, eating vegetables, eating food that grows from the earth, organically, holistically. These are the steps that we can take until we do get into our natural environment, right? You should only really, I don't study nothing else. That's why Chief gave us the 5 sciences. Once you get the 5 sciences, you don't have to study nothing else. You have a solid foundation as to what all of this is. Everything else that you study should be information with those 5 sciences. And this is going to help repair your mind. This is going to help repair the neuromelanin inside of your mind, your astrological program, right? Okay, you may have been born with the astrological program that has debilitations, that has placements that falls in certain planets. But if you do the work, give me a second. Let me finish the download and you can absolutely come up. Let me finish what I'm saying, and I'm open for questions and open for people to come up. But if you do the work by reprogramming your mind, then you can repair your neuromelanin. But that's going to come with you getting around people that support your growth. Going to school and trying to get a degree and going to work, that's okay, that's cool. You doing what you need to do right now. That's cool. I'm not shaming nobody, because we all got to do what we got to do. But make sure you surround yourself with people that have divine knowledge of self, that can help you elevate your belief system and what you think life is. Babylon distracts us, and it distracts our melanin. Remember, melanin holds memory. Babylon distracts you from remembering what you are. They know what melanin is. We don't. They know what neuromelanin is. We don't. But guess what? They don't know that it's tied to astrology. It take the melanated man, the dreamer, Jesus Christ, to come back and be the phenomenon that black people needed for us to understand astrology, for us to understand the mechanics of consciousness, for us to understand our melanin at the very depths of what we need to understand it at. Melanin is an antenna. What does an antenna do? An antenna is a transmitter. A transmitter is a receiver that sends and receives electrical signals to and from its environment to stay in tune with it. Like a radio. The radio has an antenna on there that is able to transmit frequencies and receive frequencies to vibrate on a certain channel, to vibrate on a certain level. It's levels to this shit. It's levels to consciousness. It's levels to intelligence. The more melanin you have, the more neuromelanin you have, the more ability you have to be a transmitter for God. In my astrological program, I have a moon in the 4th house. My Venus is in the 12th house. My Jupiter is in the 4th house. Venus is exalted in the 12th house or in the sign of Pisces. The moon is ruled by the 4th house or Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer or the 4th house. I got all 3 of those placements. I'm in tune with God, literally. My being is being used as a vessel and as an antenna, a transmitter, to be able to receive light codes from Chief and be able to transmit them to you all, to help you guys repair your DNA. Because I am melanin as well. So please go study your astrology, man. Go study melanin. Go study how they're using melanin inside of science labs and using melanin inside of military weapons and using melanin inside of technology and computer chips to harness and store data and store memory. Because Caucasians, less melanated beings, they lack the ability to store light. They lack that ability. So they do it by artificially or using inorganic material or inorganic versions of melanin to be able to harness and store that data and that intelligence so they can utilize it to suppress us or to be superior to us in this society. But it's really no them. They are us. They are just here to show us what happens when we go away from God, when we go away from our natural states. But like I said, like God teaches, melanin or melanin in the skin, all is not lost for you. You feel me? Because you can repair your DNA. Melanin is a DNA repair. You feel me? That's what's important for you to know. So if once you know that, it's like, oh, I'm light skinned. Bitch, I look white. I'm about to go get me a black woman. I'm about to go get me a black man. I'm about to go get me some melanin. I'm about to go make sure I'm earthing. I'll make sure I'm sitting in that sunlight, eating the right food so the sun don't burn my ass. I'm going to go hang with them people that's in tune with spirituality, that study science, that study physics, that study melanin, that study about life, so that I can upgrade my melanin, so I can upgrade my way of thinking. Because this is what we're here to do. We are here to have knowledge of self, like God teaches. That is the whole purpose of us being in this dream, for us to wake up and understand that we are part of God's imagination. And once we know that, then we can know what we are. Then we can know who we are. Do you feel me? Black power, but we don't understand what makes our blackness or our darkness powerful. Melanin is what makes us powerful, but we're not powerful in this society. We're not powerful in the state of mind that we are in because we don't understand who we are. We don't understand the technologies of our body, like God teaches us. In order for us to honor God, we must glorify the technologies of our body. Look at my eyes. Look at your eyes. We got brown eyes. If you got brown eyes, dark brown eyes, you have the ability to see all colors of the light spectrum. All colors of the light spectrum. If you have dark brown or black hair, you're able to receive all frequencies of or electrical signals that the universe has to offer you. But we sitting in this bitch wearing contacts, wearing blue eyes, wearing green eyes, putting on silver contacts, putting on long ass eyelashes that's blocking the UV radiation from getting into your eyes, from you receiving signals to be a transmitter for the universe to express itself through. Exactly, Divine Empress. Light codes. You're blocking yourself from receiving light codes. That's going to amplify and make you more intelligent and more sensitive to your environment, which makes you more of an antenna to your environment. All this makeup we putting up on our skin. Our women like to put on makeup. Our women like to put on, we like to dye our hair. Look at the word, dye. Dye. It's chlorine and bleach inside of a lot of these hair dyes. It's chlorine and fluoride inside of the water in your shower. Do you not know what that chlorine does to the melanin on your skin when you getting in that pool because you so hot and you want to go to the fucking park and get in the pool with all that chlorine? What that fluoride and chlorine is doing is stripping your largest organism. The largest organism on your body is your skin. Your skin is your first brain. It's stripping you of melanin. It's stripping you of life force. It's stripping you of pigment. When you dye your hair, you're stripping your hair in its ability to be an antenna to connect you with God. And remember, your hair is connected to your nervous system by the hair root plexus. Yeah, your hair is literally your nervous system growing out of your head. If you don't know what your nervous system look like, just look no further. Look no further. It's the hair on your head. But when you dye it, you debilitate your ability to communicate with God. Everything is communication. And body language rules 85% of our communication. You need to glorify and honor your body because your body is always in constant communication with God. For you to enter the kingdom of heaven, heaven means to be at a spiritual, everlasting state of communion with God. God is nature. When you look at the word communion, communication. So for you to be in heaven is for you to be in a spiritual, everlasting state of communication with God. For your being, your antenna, your whole vessel, your avatar to be in communication with nature at all times. That's why Chief teaches us that we shouldn't be wearing clothes. This is your real clothes. Your skin is your real clothes. Don't dye your hair. Stop putting weave in there. Stop wearing wigs. It's okay for you to put a wig on every once in a while. You want to play dress up. That's cool. Like, that's cool. But don't make this a part of your everyday ritual. Don't make this a habitual habit. Don't make this something that you do every day to make yourself feel good about yourself because you have been programmed. We've been programmed with the MK Ultra. The MK Ultra was a CIA project or experiment that they use to psychologically mislead people, to deceive people, to brainwash people, right? When you type on Google right now, whenever y'all get a chance, type on Google, beautiful hair. I'm gonna do it for y'all. Type on Google, beautiful hair. I got you, Yella. Give me a moment, King. Give me a moment. Please be patient. I ask that you be patient and let me deliver this message as a repeater for God because people want to get this information. Now, I just went on Google. Okay, Goddess, I got you. Now look. I don't know if y'all can see this. But I typed in beautiful hair. The majority of these pictures that pop up is white women hair. White women hair. The majority of hair that pops up is white women. Or black women with long weave in their hair. Or black women with flat ironed hair. When you flat iron your hair, you smell it when you flat iron. You're burning your hair, my nigga. You're killing your hair. You're destroying your antenna. Your hair doesn't want to be straightened. It naturally wants to be coiled and kinky. That's why if you leave your hair alone, it freeforms and becomes more knotty. And your melanin in it makes it more of a heightened receptor or transmitter or antenna for its environment. So we've been deceived and been programmed with an MK Ultra, especially our women, especially our men too. Men want to cut their hair and get brush wave lengths and shit. You feel me? Black people we use our melanin to make this system look cool. You feel me? The white man cut our hair. Okay, we gonna get waves and make this shit look good. You feel me? No, that's an MK Ultra. You've been deceived and brainwashed and manipulated into believing that it's a subconscious thing, right? Look at the Pantene commercials on the TV. It's Maybelline. All of these commercials and shit that show these white women whipping their hair back and forth. Long, blonde, brown, straight, stringy hair. No, that's not the best hair. Why do you want to look like that? That's not your natural state as a black woman, as a black man. Why do you want to get a bald head? Why do you want to get a number 1 or a number 2 or a 1.5 brush wave length cut? I used to be a barber. I used to be cutting people's hair off. I used to be telling them, you know this shit on antenna? Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Let me get the brush wave. Let me get a taper on the side. Let me get a bald fade. I got you. You feel me? Stop that. I stopped that because I didn't want to be a catalyst that was destroying my people and keeping them from not knowing who they was. You feel me? So understand that your melanin is very important. And melanin is just not skin pigment. It's actually intelligence. And it's all throughout your body. It's all throughout the animal kingdom. It's all throughout nature. And it's inside of your brain and in your nervous system. And neuromelanin is the most important component of melanin because it is synonymous with astrology. Astrology is the mechanics of consciousness. You feel me? So know thyself. Honor thyself. Honor the vessel that God has given you. Honor the vessel that our mother has given us to glorify her creation through. Right? Honor the dreamer. Honor the Eligio Bishop, our mother's son, her only begotten son that was sent for us to believe and be alive in his information so that we can have everlasting life and not perish. Honor this. You feel me? Chief is to be honored and reverenced. He's our king. He's our Lord and Savior. He's the Lord of all lords. Threes is Christ, and we are jinn. We are God's imagination. You feel me? We are the melanin that has been formed out of that darkness into these biological structures. It's a beautiful thing. So that's the download on melanin, man. That's what I wanted to give you all today, man. And reflect the light from God, the all-seeing I3. I love myself.